Welcome back, everyone. I'm Lauren Christensen, Bryan LifePoint dietitian, and I'm back today to share some additional meal planning tips and strategies to hopefully help add on to what I shared on Tuesday. Today, we'll specifically hone in on how to recreate or repurpose leftovers so you can spend a little less time in the kitchen, add a little excitement to those leftover nights, and hopefully reduce food waste. So let's get started. So just a couple of strategies that I would encourage you to consider. Eventually, or in most cases, this will help save time throughout the course of a week. But if you are already browning some ground beef or turkey, why not brown a little extra and pop it in the freezer once it has plenty of time to cool? And that makes for quick use, quick addition to soups or casseroles later on, so you can skip that extra step of browning it once you're ready to use it. So that's a great tip. Another idea is if you know that you're going to have some additional protein from a meal that you may not necessarily get to use up, why not portion that out and slice and marinate and freeze any extra protein, whether that's beef, chicken, pork, or fish, for a quick stir fry. That way, if you're also having some vegetables that are reaching kind of their point of expiration, you can use those up, and along with some pantry staples like brown rice or quinoa. So those are some ideas. We'll touch on that a little bit further here in a second, but just another friendly reminder, you'll probably get sick of hearing this, but make sure that you can freeze any of those leftovers in single servings within 4 days. If it's something that won't freeze really well, make sure that you are planning for how you can consume that within those 4 days, so that you can use it up and still be safe in doing so. And then anything that you are putting in the freezer, make sure that we're labeling that with a date, so you can again follow that first in, first out rule of thumb to help prevent any food waste and also freezer burn type things. Okay, so here's some of the fun stuff. I really want people to try to think about how they can get creative and enjoy this time, maybe come up with some new recipe ideas, or again, ways to, as we continue, reduce food waste. So that's a major thing that occurs within the US, and really trying to emphasize how do we reduce that. So within the grocery shopping and the meal planning tools that I shared on Tuesday, I would strongly encourage you to consider or explore how you can incorporate variations using maybe the same base protein or what have you for your main entree. So here's some ideas, and I'll also provide some helpful resources to maybe find some recipes or ideas for what you can do moving forward. All right, so first up we have chicken. So let's say that on day one, we do a crock pot or oven roasted chicken with rice and vegetables. Simple meal, doesn't take a whole lot of hands-on time. We kind of let the crock pot do it for us, and rice and veggies we can steam really easily within the microwave. But then on day 2 through 4, maybe it's less exciting to eat the leftovers from that meal. So maybe you decide that you want to transform it into one of the following options. You could do a chicken noodle soup. That's also a great way to use up any vegetables that maybe you won't get to at a later point. Doesn't have to be the traditional carrots and celery. You can get creative with what you throw in there. Maybe you want to do a stir fry, a chicken salad with some berries that you need to use up. Maybe a chicken pasta salad, that could be hot or cold. Maybe a chicken wrap, maybe add some buffalo sauce to give that some excitement. And then also doing a flatbread barbecue chicken pizza. So again, some great options to really just kind of kick that up a notch, as Emerald would say, and explore some different options for how to use up that leftover chicken. Right, if you have pulled pork, first time maybe you do some pulled pork sandwiches and make that pulled pork in the crock pot. Maybe you pair that with a side salad. Again, you could eat that same meal if you have leftovers, or if you want to make it a little bit more exciting, transform it into one of the following. So you could do pulled pork tacos. You could do that either in a traditional tortilla shell, or if you have some lettuce or cabbage, you could also use those and do cabbage or lettuce wrap type tacos. Maybe do a pulled pork chili, so a little bit of a different take on your conventional chili. Maybe you want to add it to your breakfast and get a little extra protein in at breakfast. So pair it with some other vegetables and an egg. You have a really wholesome nutritional breakfast, and again, pack in some extra protein at the start of your day. And then again, you could also do a pulled pork salad, or pulled pork salad or a pulled pork wrap. Again, get creative with the different types of add-ons to that. So maybe you add some pineapple and maybe make it more of kind of an oriental type feel or salad mix. So get creative and have fun with it. Okay, for salmon, maybe you start out by having salmon and some quinoa or couscous with vegetables. We just had this the other day at my household, and we did Brussels sprouts, which is one of our favorites, although the kids don't necessarily like it. So frozen vegetables come in handy in that situation. For us, most of the time we are purchasing just enough salmon for what we will use in one scenario. But if you want to transform it, you could add a little extra and plan to make either some grilled salmon patties. With weather getting nicer, we're able to get out and grill a little bit more. So that's a fun, different thing maybe that we weren't able to do during the winter time. You could do a stuffed pepper with some, again, quinoa, leftover vegetables, and chopped up salmon. That's another really yummy option. Maybe you want to do an open face salmon melt. Again, if you have some tomatoes and a little bit of bread and some cheese, you can make an easy, quick meal, no time flat with those leftovers. And then again, another salad type option. So great idea for lunches if you want something maybe a little bit lighter in the evening times. If you have some avocado and some tomato and cucumber, that would all pair really well together with that extra salmon. All right, steak. So again, maybe you grill steak and have a large side salad with it. After that, maybe you elect to do a stir fry. That's a quick, easy thing that we like to do in our house. If we have leftover proteins, we generally always have peppers and different vegetables on hand. So that is something, again, pair it with some quinoa, some brown rice, even cauliflower rice if you have that. So again, some great options there. Most people are a little weirded out when I suggest this, but why not have steak and eggs and a side salad for breakfast? You could have it for lunch or supper as well too. But again, breakfast, sometimes we skimp on the protein and opt for more of those carb-centric type options. So maybe add in a little bit more protein, or maybe you do slice up that steak and do a steak and egg burrito type option. You could also do steak tacos or steak lettuce wraps, again, kind of similar to the pulled pork option. But another fun twist would be zucchini boats. So maybe you do a Philly cheesesteak zucchini boat. Basically, you scoop out the inside of the zucchini, chop it up, and add it back in with the steak, some peppers, some cheese, bake it, and again, pretty quick, easy meal that is a fun twist for you. Okay, so this is one of my favorites. It feels like we always have leftover vegetables, even though my family eats vegetables really well. I'm very lucky in that regard. But one of our favorite things to do is if we have vegetables that are kind of reaching that point of no return, as I like to call, we love to roast them. So a little balsamic vinegar, roast them in the oven. Not only does it make your household smell amazing, but it's an awesome way to, again, just kind of give those vegetables new life and prevent them from going in the trash can. You could do a veggie pizza, maybe a minestrone type soup, or just an overall vegetable type soup. Maybe you pair that and do a vegetable frittata with some eggs. You could also do loaded potatoes, so a loaded sweet potato or baked potato topped with those extra vegetables. If you have some black beans or some hummus or avocado, you can add that to it, get a little extra protein. And then another great idea, again, since we're getting into that nicer weather, is to do kebabs. My kiddos think that that's like the best thing ever. Anything on a stick is okay with them. So if you have little ones, though, just make sure that you're shaving that off and they're not trying to put that kebab in their mouth. So again, some just different ways to kind of get out of our maybe typical ruts. So again, I would encourage you, just have some fun, get creative, enjoy kind of experimenting a little bit and see what you can come up with. You might be surprised. I oftentimes, as I shared on my video on Tuesday, I oftentimes get asked for resources, for recipes, or what to do with those leftovers. I know some individuals may be cooking for one or two, and so they don't want a lot of leftovers, but there may be certain items where you just can't really prepare that without having leftovers. So again, this is meant to just serve as some idea generation for you. Just again, really wanting to inspire a little bit more creativity in the kitchen. So these are some awesome resources. You can go to greatest.com, health leftover meal healthy recipes. And then the lean green bean, they have some great ideas, as well as provided one of the pictures within my slideshow. Foodandnutrition.org, they have some great kitchen hacks and tips to reduce food waste. And then my friends over at Extension, they do some wonderful work and have a lot of fantastic resources on not only how to reduce food waste, but how to cook once, eat twice sort of situations, along with some fantastic recipes. So make sure to check them out. Quick shout out to all my RD Extension friends. As I shared Tuesday, eatingwell.com is one of my go-to sites for recipe ideas, and again, just to get some different inspiration, kind of get outside of my little box. Food Network has some great options. Eatright.org is the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, so they have some great resources for community members as well as professionals alike. And then I also reference the My Plate graphic in my Tuesday video. So choosemyplate.gov has some wonderful ideas and recipes as well. And then again, another quick shout out to our friends at Extension. So they have, again, at their food.unl.edu site, some really awesome resources to check out. So with that, if you've watched my previous videos, you know that this is my favorite kind of sign off. So I just would encourage you to consider every time that you eat as an awesome opportunity to nourish your body and be able to help fuel you so that you can do the things that you love and enjoy time with those people within your household. As always, if you have further questions, feel free to reach out to me at lauren.christensen@bryanhealth.org. I would be more than happy to field any questions that you might have, or if you have some specific ideas for content that you would like me to share or that you would find helpful, feel free to reach out. As I have mentioned in the past, I hope you all stay well, and until next time, thanks for watching. Take care, everyone.